And he keeps putting the mask on more and more and more. And he ends up constantly with this mask on. And then this thing happens. He falls in love. And in his mind now, so he's struggling to take the mask off. In his mind now, this beautiful person that has fallen in love with him, he doesn't know if she is falling in love with the mask and what that represents, or the true him. What's the conundrum here? She doesn't know the true Stanley Ipkiss because he's wearing a mask. And I believe that many of us are struggling with this. And it hurts me to say this. I believe that many are struggling to be real. And wearing this mask has become a way of life for us. We are content with who the mask makes us. And when we consider the purposes of wearing masks, we have to ask ourselves which one of these purposes we use the mask for. Is it to change our identity? Is it for us to become like other people? Al, could you ask somebody just to hold your camera and just come forward for me? I just want to give an illustration of what this looks like.
Keston.
Now, Al's not quite right in his introduction of me. It was actually closer to 30 years. And when Al met me, I had hair. I mean, you probably don't remember, I had lots of hair. And I didn't meet Al in church. I met him at Westminster City Council. And I didn't know Al was a Christian, but there was something about it, and I had stopped going to church and was finding my way back in. But straight away I was drawn to Al, and he was and remains this gently spoken, fantastic, handsome, tall, successful man of God. Now, I struggle with depression. Be very open and honest, because I don't want to wear a mask. But because Al is my friend, what I used to do with Al is, because I don't want Al to stop loving me or stop liking me, and if I tell him about my weakness, I struggle with alcoholism. Haven't had a drink forever, but I know my weaknesses. Do you understand? So, but I don't want Al to know that I struggle with all this stuff. So what do? I start talking like Al, because I want him to hear what is acceptable to him. Start dressing like Al. And I start behaving like Al. I want a house in the country like Al. I want to eat like Al. I want to drive like Al. I want to do the job that Al does. I want to be able to preach like Al. I want to be able to have the discernment and the knowledge that Al has. But guess what's slowly happening? By me doing all of these things, I've stopped being me. And I've started to become. And God creates each and every one of us as individuals, but we die as clones, not being the people that God intended for us to be. Thank you so much. And the worst part of all of this is, in my struggle with depression and alcoholism and any other issues, I don't share with Al. So who's helping me? Not Al. And in fact, nobody. Because I tell nobody. But guess what's even worse than that? Al also struggles with depression. And Al also struggles with alcoholism. He doesn't. But if he did, because we're both pretending, no one's getting helped. No one's reaching out. So no one reaches back. and in my loneliness and my brokenness, no one's getting fixed. Because we're wearing this mask. We want to change our identities. But when God says, I know the plans I have for Costa, Costa no longer exists. He's become Al. And so the purpose of God is defeated by me, by Al, by everybody who pretends. God has a specific plan and purpose for each and every one of us. I can't play keyboards like you, because that's not what God has asked me to do. But you can't preach like me. I'm not saying you can't preach. I'm saying she doesn't preach like me. Because there's only one person who can preach like me. That's me. And there is nobody as good as being Al as Al. There's nobody as good as being me as me. In the book, The Southern Watchman, and I think what this does is it really shouts out at me that God has a plan and a purpose for each and every one of us that's different to everybody else. And in this quotation from the Southern Watchman, Ellen White says this: God has given each and every Christian a distinct work that the Christian is assigned to. I'm not a missionary. God didn't call me to be a missionary. Some folks say, oh, I couldn't stand up in front of people and preach. And I'm actually quite shy, but that's what God has asked me to do, and He has empowered me to do this.
Amen.
And I believe that so that's number one. I believe the second one is to hide our identity. It isn't necessarily to change. It's to hide our identity. It's similar to the first one, but I'm not trying to change my identity. I just want to hide it in a particular setting. So when I leave here and I go to the pub, I'm not going to, but I go to the pub, I'm hoping nobody will see me, because then I am undone. So I'm not trying to change who I am. I'm just trying to hide in a particular context. So I might not go to work and be the person that I am when I'm with my friends. Does that make sense? And I don't really want to, in both of these, I don't really want people to see the real me. So what I do is I put on my mask as a way of hiding who I really am. And let me tell you a couple of things about the mask I wear. None of them are remotely close to who God created me to be. And I'm still finding out more and more who God created me to be. And the way for you to find out is to have a relationship with God and talk to Him and ask Him. Amen? Pray. God will reveal Himself in many, many ways. And none of the masks that I wear are remotely close to who God created me to be. So, are you here wearing a mask? Put your hand up if you wear masks. Right now. How many of you wear a mask by not putting your hands up? Thank you for your honesty. So let's look at a few facts today that will help us to remove our masks. I'm speaking from experience here. Amen? I'm quite happy to tell you some of the stuff that has happened to me in my life, in my childhood. You know, I always say to people when they come to me and ask me, how are you? Be careful with that question. I'm not going to say I'm fine. Because that's what we've become accustomed to. A pastor called me one day, asked me, how are you, Costa? And I said, well, actually, Pastor, I'm not feeling so great today because, oh, great, thank you. So about the meeting tonight. Yeah, sure. Wasn't interested. Have you ever been in that situation where you come into church and how you doing? How you doing? You don't really want the answer.